Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. You know, today I wanted to talk about a psychic story. I know so many people love to hear psychic stories. I do too. I like telling them because number one, they're all true, and number two, I love the joy and what the message with each psychic story translates to us all. But this is a really happy one. I have a client that I have seen numerous times in person. And, she had gotten married and relocated and sent me these beautiful pictures of her as a bride. And she truly was a beautiful bride. And, she decided to make an appointment with a phone. And I do phone sessions as well. So long story short, we had a nice phone session. And during the phone session, I kept seeing food. And I said, what is with all the food that I keep seeing? She goes, well, I don't know. She says, I am thinking about looking for another job. Maybe it'll be in the food. I said, I don't know. And later in the session, again, the food. And she says, well, my husband used to work in food, so maybe that's it. I says, I don't know. And she goes, you have no clue. I says, none. I just did not know why I kept seeing it and what the food represented. So then I made contact with, her loved ones. And all of a sudden, I keep seeing this big Great Dane dog. And down the street from us, there is a Great Dane, and her name is Bella. And she is just such a beautiful dog. But I thought, that's odd. Now, why am I seeing a Great Dane, and why am I seeing Bella? So I said, I keep seeing Bella. What's with Bella? I said. She says, Bella, that's my great-grandmother. I go, okay. Now, as soon as she told me it was her great-grandmother, don't I see a woman who's crocheting? And I said, did your grandmother crochet? She goes, oh, God, she was a great crocheter. I go, well, she's on a mission. And I keep seeing that she's in a hurry, and she's trying to make this blanket. And it's almost like it's a baby blanket. So I'm thinking there's a baby coming. So she turns around, she says, I said, are you trying to have a baby? And she goes, well, the word trying. She said, we're seeing fertility specialists and we haven't had success yet. And, she's a little bit of an older couple, but she says, I don't know. She says, I don't know, from your mouth to God's ear, but I don't know, Susan. I said, well, don't underestimate the power of spirit. She's trying to tell you something by the vision she keeps putting in me. So we had a good session. It was wonderful. And again, like I said, that food kept coming up, that vision of food. And she says, you still haven't figured that out? I says, no. I says, but be on the lookout. It's got to mean something. Well, that was the end of the session. We said our goodbyes. 3 days later, I get an email from her. Apparently, she's making her husband breakfast, and while she's on the phone with him, the doctor says, before we start another round, I want you to take a pregnancy test just to rule out that you're pregnant. She goes, fat chance, but yes, I'll do it. So she takes the pregnancy test, she leaves it in the bathroom, she's cooking breakfast. She goes back to it, amazingly, she's pregnant. She's looking at the vial like, no. And not only is she pregnant, she's just in shock. So how's she going to tell her husband? So she thought, well, she had his place setting, and instead of a fork and a knife, she put a vial and a knife on the napkin, hoping that her husband would see it and get the picture. And of course, he was ecstatic beyond words. They both are, and I couldn't be happier for a nicer couple to be having a baby. But as she was emailing this beautiful story, she says, we couldn't figure out why you kept seeing food. And it was in the middle of me making breakfast, and it was all about food while I told my husband that we were going to have a baby. So I just want to say, what a great story. It just put a smile. I was so happy for them. But don't underestimate two things, the power of spirit and the power of your faith. So even when things seem to be impossible sometimes, don't give up. Persevere and be open, because if you're open to it, you'll be surprised what universe brings back to us. Remember, no deadlines, okay? No timelines, no deadlines to anything. Just be open and live your life. And pleasantly, I really believe God does reward us in different ways. So I hope this helps. Subscribe to YouTube. Also subscribe to my Facebook page, because if you do Psychic Medium Susan Rowlen Facebook, you are sure never to miss a YouTube video because they're posted both ways. So until next time, keep the questions coming. Keep up the faith. All my love. Take care. Bye-bye.